Round one.
What up, guys? Ichiko here with another video, and as some of you know, I'm a little disappointed in Tekken 7, or maybe even medium disappointed, or a lot of disappointed. It's somewhere, I guess, maybe in between medium and a lot. Not too close to a lot, maybe a little bit above medium disappointed. And really, this game is not as fun to play as me playing other Tekken games. Now I'm about to tell you guys why. Alright, so first off, if I wanted to play Smash Brothers, or if I wanted to play Street Fighter, or if I wanted to play King of Fighters, or if I wanted to play Final Fantasy 15, I would play those games. If I buy Tekken 7, I bought Tekken 7 to play Tekken 7. Now, let's address the contradiction here in the room, because I knew that I was getting Akuma right off the bat. So I'm not an Akuma hater or anything like that. Matter of fact, when Akuma was announced and everything, I was like, Akuma would sack the Mishimas, and people were disagreeing with me and everything. But the problem with my argument was I was talking about Shin Akuma, and of course Shin Akuma isn't canon, so how is he going to fight the Mishimas? Well, he's not canon in Street Fighter or Tekken, whatever. So really, actually, I think I was talking about Oni. Yeah. My bad about the Shin Akuma comment. I was talking about Oni. But anyway, I was saying that Akuma would do very well against the Mishimas, which he did, but it can be debated or not whether Kazuya beat him up or not. That special mission in the story mode doesn't count. The special mission isn't canon. So when you fight Shin Akuma at the end, that's not canon anyway. But everything else Akuma did was canon. So it could be debatable whether or not he was really sacking the Mishimas, because he didn't seem to really win against Kazuya, but he did win against Heihachi, but he didn't kill Heihachi. I guess you could say he beat Heihachi. Maybe he really beat Heihachi, but let's not digress to this. My problem with Tekken 7 is if I want to play Street Fighter, I will buy Street Fighter. But at the same time, when I got this disc, I wasn't hating on the fact that Akuma was here. I was like, Akuma's in here. I accepted. You guys announced this way long ago. And I was like, okay, as long as you don't put anything ridiculous more on this character roster. And Eliza, the thing I was disappointed with was Eliza. Like, even though I'm disappointed with her, I do like how she is. But at the same time, what I want is a Tekken. I want the Tekken Revolution version of Eliza, without the red move, blue move bullcrap. And I want that version, but updated move list. When she went to Tekken 7, it's like she changed. And I'm like, you should have just added moves to her. She actually felt like a Tekken character, even though she had the fireball stuff and everything. That's how they should be gearing the mechanics for, instead of her feeling like a Street Fighter character. She still felt like a Tekken character in Revolution. So it wasn't disappointing to me, even though she had a lot of Street Fighter X stuff. Second thing, if I wanted to freaking play Geese, now I don't hate on Geese either. Now, he's not one of my favorite characters out of something, because I can't say, man, I like Akuma. But Geese, I just don't hate Geese. That's the only thing about that. But if I wanted to play Geese, I would pop in the game that Geese came from, okay? So that's the other thing. When will this actually be a stopping point? Because they did say they're going to announce a certain fixed amount of DLC characters. But is that completely true? And then my third thing comes in with, of course, Noctis coming in. This is the most ridiculous looking DLC character I've ever seen in my life. So Noctis, well, let me not put it like that, because Noctis is one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters. And this is me speaking as a hardcore Final Fantasy fan. I don't want Noctis in Tekken 7, okay? Me speaking as a hardcore Final Fantasy fan, I don't want him in there. I even love Final Fantasy 15. So a lot of people hated it. People loved it. But there's a lot of hate on there. But I love that game. And I love the characters on that game. That it was lit. But I don't want to see Noctis in here. This is just a clown show at this point. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other Tekken players that aren't even really Final Fantasy fans will agree with me. Well, yeah, we didn't ask for Noctis. Matter of fact, out of all the DLC characters, Noctis feels forced. That felt like it was forced upon you. That's even worse because the people who play Forza Horizon, they felt like the Regalia was forced as DLC in that game. Noctis is randomly coming to the city of Final Fantasy, which that's the least disagreeable with me because it's still a Final Fantasy game and it merges the main characters into a specific story point. So I'm okay, but some people don't like that because it's putting some weird habits in the city. And then now he's in Tekken, and that's just increasing the horrible Final Fantasy 15 publicity because literally Noctis is becoming fan service to other stuff. Because they got their own really horrible app, mobile game app for Final Fantasy 15, which is horrible. And no one asked for the Regalia to be on Forza either. And this is really more so feeling forced as it goes on now. So those were the 3 problems within my first major issue of a problem. You're just throwing and spinning characters out there with no reason. My second thing was Tekken 7. Like, okay, I know I was in the competitive scene for Tekken, whatever, but I do very much so like to get into the story of a game. So I do like having, the what would you call it, the casual player's experience as well. Like, really. But Tekken 7 story mode was horrible. Well, I wouldn't say horrible, but that didn't feel like a story mode. That felt like a short DLC. That's what the story mode felt like. So they failed right there. It's not fun to play against these new characters. Like, even though I can tell you right now, Akuma with no meter, all he has is that cheap low sweep. I mean, that's really it. And I guess he can Hadouken spam you, but he's not overall a extremely good character. But for some people, it can be tedious. And what they should have been focusing on doing is making these characters feel like Tekken characters instead of feeling like they were characters from other games in Tekken. And it would have made the game a lot more smooth. Because at this point, we get into the realm of being cheap. Because, okay, so this doesn't go toward your game's good points. You already have a really bad story. It was short, by the way. In my own let's put my super personal opinion. The story wasn't really, really bad. It was just short, and it hypes you up, and then when you find out it's over, it's like, the fuck was that shit? But anyway, in terms of your characters, you could complain to me and say, well, you need to learn the character, and you don't know nothing about the 2D characters or whatever, but you would be wrong about that. The thing is this right here. Whenever you set a 2D character into a 2D arcade style fighting game character into a 3D arcade style fighting game, they will always have extremely cheap qualities. And the same vice versa. There's a game that I very much so enjoyed playing it for a long time. Is Dengeki Bunko. They put Akira from Virtua Fighter and Pi in there as well, but Pi was an assist character. But they put Akira from Virtua Fighter in there, and then Dengeki Bunko. And to a lot of people, he was pretty cheap. And I think important rule is you need to format your character to feel like they're supposed to be in that game instead of outside that game. Because every time this happens, this is a bad thing. When a 3D character comes to a 2D fighting game, he's cheap. And when a 2D character comes to a 3D fighting game, they also feel like they're cheap. They should really change this. And enough about that 2D, 3D thing. Noctis. Let's get to Noctis. Noctis just... Okay, I mean, I like Noctis as a character, but this is just stupid. This is a unneeded DLC and everything. And you could complain, well, changes gotta happen. Tekken changes every single game. Like, the change between Tekken 6 to Tekken 7, it's the actual combat system, even though it has simple basics that stay the same format. But in terms of what happens in a transition, like, I don't like rage yards. I like rage drives. They're pretty cool, but it's not something that I'll like completely want to break my disc for. And it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me disappointed, and it makes me want to shoot the disc back at, Namco, because at this point, this is just disappointing stuff to me. And like, if let's say you didn't release the DLCs and we just got a rage yard or something like that, which I don't like the idea of rage yards. I use them, but I still don't like them, but I'll still use them because I look at the game from a competitive standpoint or whatever. But Tekken could really go without those rage yards. It doesn't make the game better, but at the same time, that's a minor thing in comparison to what they're doing now. Because what Tekken is doing now is, I can see this game slowly plummeting. Tekken 7 slowly plummeting, not the whole series, but Tekken 7 slowly plummeting because they're gonna start doing fan service. This is why Dead or Alive 5 had so many people that left their game, because it's fan service. You're adding stupid random characters onto your game for no reason. And at first, yeah, it starts with you saying this is the set amount of characters. But with the birth of the PS4, PS3, stuff like that, they kept adding after that on DOA. Adding after that. And I wouldn't be surprised if for the first time we actually see an updated version of Tekken. Just like Street Fighter does, where they have Ultra Street Fighter. We might see like Ultra Tekken. It won't be called that, of course, but you know what I mean. And at this point, I'm just like, what? But I'm just kind of putting that in your mind out there. We might have an updated Tekken thing, and let's not say that that's gonna definitely happen. But the thing that is a huge possibility is Tekken turning into fan service, and no one really wants Tekken to just be straight up fan service. Because let's say Tekken adds a whole army of random characters from other games into Tekken. It's not Tekken anymore. This is Smash Brothers. Like, if I paid for Tekken 7, that's what I want to play. If I wanted to play a game where everybody collaborates, fine. Make another Tekken. Call it Tekken Cross Street Fighter, Cross King of Fighters, Cross Final Fantasy, Cross Sega Genesis, okay? Add Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever you want to add. But there's a reason that I chose to buy Tekken and not Tekken Cross 1000 other games. Because I want to play Tekken. Not because I want to play Final Fantasy. Even though I love 15, don't get me wrong, I got both games. But, my 15 is like probably 2 or 3 games next to it in the downloadable content. I can play 15 if I want to. So that's my point, guys. Let me know what you guys really think about this. To me, this is just stupid. And really, I'm about to start maining the city. Now, I will play Tekken time and time, and maybe I might go on it and stay on it consistently, but for the most part, when the City of Final Fantasy new type comes out, I'm gonna be maining that, and it's gonna be fun for me because it's freaking the city. I love freaking the city. To me, Tekken 7 was a disappointment because at first the system was a disappointment in terms of the fighting system, but I was okay with that because change does need to happen. And I was like, cool, this change isn't that bad. But once you start making changes for this basically being a cross game when you didn't pay for a cross game, it's like, chill out, Tekken 7. Chill out. But let me know you guys' opinions in the comment section. Make sure to share, comment, subscribe, and always finger that like button. And I think I'm going to name the title of this video that sounds like something really hating, when at the end of the day, I'm not really hating on it that badly as what the title would be. I'll think maybe I'll make a really hating title. Because if I make a super hating title, people are going to all come in here, comment, or they're going to look a lot. And they're going to be like, no, you're wrong about this. You don't like this. Or they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Noctis was stupid to put in there. I don't even want him in there. Matter of fact, let me point out one more thing, guys. The dude from Yakuza. DOA did something really smart. They put Ninja Gaiden characters in DOA in their combo format, can be easily formatted and translated into DOA. Yakuza characters formula can easily be translated into Tekken characters formula. Why didn't they add a Yakuza character? Peace, guys.